What's up, everyone? Welcome to the same Philly Sports History for August 14th, 2024. I'm your host, Jim Montgomery, and I am pissed. And before we even get into anything and get started, typically I try to keep this as PG-13 as possible. I'm trying to go somewhat mainstream, I guess, but on a day like today, all that gets thrown out the window. What the fuck was that? Seriously, what the fuck was that? Like, that was the most uninspired team I've ever seen in my life. And the fact that after that West Coast trip, you said, oh, it's going to be great to get back home and play in front of the fans, and that is the effort you put out there, that is pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. I don't even know where to begin. The crowd booed early and often. Good. Continue to boo this team. Zero heart. And I hate to even compare it, but this is very similar to what happened with the Eagles last year. I remember going down the stretch. We were like, they'll turn it on. They'll turn it on. They're too good. They'll turn it on. They never turned it on. And this is exactly what this Phillies team is doing. You lost to the Florida fucking Marlins, who got rid of half of their team at the trade deadline. I think their active roster, the combined salary is like under $15 million for their payroll. It's a triple A team. That dude that was pitching for them was throwing meatballs. And that is the effort you put up? You've got to be kidding me. And completely uninspired, and I don't even know. Ruined a good night to sit outside and watch the game. It was a beautiful night. Excited to sit there and watch the game, and that is the effort you put out there? You've got to be kidding me. And honestly, Juan Walker was not terrible. He certainly wasn't good, but I mean, 3 runs. You can't score 3. You can't score a single run against a triple A team. Like, there is a lot wrong with this team right now, and I don't know. Somebody needs to do something. I don't know it's not unprecedented. Fire Rob Thompson, I don't know, to light a spark under these guys, because he's certainly not going to do it. Well, we're close. We're close to turning it around, and yeah, I've thought about it. And no, do something. You need like a Larry Boa or Dallas Green going in there and calling those guys out. Get them pissed off at you. Don't try to be the nice guy. Get them pissed off at you, and maybe they'll play better. I mean, in '83, I think it was earlier in the season than this, they fired Pat Corrales and they were in first place, and they got to the World Series. That is just, somebody needs to light a fire, go in there and break shit. Like, I don't know, take a baseball bat to a TV, a trash can, a shower, whatever. Like, this is absolutely ridiculous, and I'm sick of this whole, oh, but they're a bunch of nice guys. Now, who cares if they're nice guys? Oh, we have good chemistry in the clubhouse. I don't care. Your good chemistry, good guys suck right now. Short of like a good month and a half, 2 months in the start of the season, you guys are the worst team in baseball over the course of the past 2 months. Oh, but we have good chemistry. I don't care. Like, how's that good chemistry working out for you? This team absolutely sucks. They deserve to be booed. I hope they're booed even louder and longer today. And they get the message. Something needs to change. And Schwarber, oh, we're not worried. Well, you should be worried, because you got 7 games coming up against the Braves, and the way you're playing, you're going to get swept all 7 and be in second place and be fighting for a wild card spot. Absolutely ridiculous. Like, most unbelievable that is the effort you come out with after a 10-game road trip, talking about how excited you are to be back home, and that's what you give the fans. That is the effort you put out there on the field. I feel bad for the little kid who went to his first Phillies game, and that's the effort he saw. Ridiculous. Absolute. But we have good chemistry. Oh, we're nice guys. We all get along. Well, you know what? Maybe somebody, your leader, you know who I'm talking about, needs to stop being the nice guy and pandering to the crowd and wearing fanatic stuff, and call some guys out, and starting with yourself. Trey Turner, you suck. Brandon Marsh, you suck. The only guy that put in any type of sort of heart or effort yesterday was Johan Rojas. He was the only guy that was hustling, doing something. Absolutely pathetic. Absolutely ridiculous. That is the effort you put out, essentially against a triple A team. Come on now. and then ruining my night. Beautiful night to sit out on the back porch, and that's the effort I see from my team, supposedly the best team in baseball. You're not even the best team in Philadelphia right now. That's the Council Rock Little League. Get it together. And like I said, the fact that I'm fired up about it, obviously the fans were fired up about it because they were booing. Somebody in that clubhouse needs to be fired up about it. No heart, no emotion, no effort. It's ridiculous. And you pay attention, and I'm talking to you, Bryce. You pay attention to talk radio all the time. You have to know. You're not an idiot. You know what happened with the Eagles. Like, what is going on? Like, it's just a pathetic, absolute disgrace of a display, and they deserve to be called out. They've gotten a free pass long enough and resting on past performances. Well, guess what? I don't care about past performances. I don't care if your clubhouse is great. I don't care if you got a really good bunch of guys in this clubhouse. Somebody needs to call each and every one of you out. Johan Rojas was the only guy that put on any heart or effort yesterday. Not your 27 or whatever $1 million stars. No. So what's it going to be? Like, this is beyond, I think, at this point, what the Eagles did. You guys they're going to fool around. They're going to struggle to make the playoffs. Mark my words, come mid-September, this team is going to be battling for the third playoff spot if they don't get it together. That's the way they've been playing. Like, absolutely ridiculous. A triple-A team, and you can't score a run? You let this dude go out there and look like Nolan Ryan for 7 innings? Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I am disgusted at this team. Absolutely disgusted. It starts with the manager all the way down. Absolutely disgusted. Show some balls. Show some fucking balls and get it together. Somebody needs to go in there with this fiery spit. Like, I'll go down. Bring me into the clubhouse. I'll call each and every one of them out. It's absolutely ridiculous. Take a Louisville Slugger, break a couple TVs. It's absolutely ridiculous. Pathetic. And like I said, I feel more bad for the little kid who went to his first Phillies game yesterday, and that's the effort that you showed. At least back in the mid-'80s when I was going to games and the team sucked, they at least put effort in. They were trying. They just weren't good. You guys are too good to put that kind of effort in against a fucking AAA team. Absolutely ridiculous. Makes me sick to my stomach. And Tawan Walker wasn't terrible. And that's the thing. Like, I expected him to be terrible. He wasn't terrible. Certainly wasn't good. But you give up 4 runs, and you can't score a run against a fucking AAA team. Absolutely ridiculous. And I apologize for all the F-bombs, but that's how pissed I am. And again, I usually try to keep it PG-13, but this team just has me that aggravated. And if I'm feeling this way as a fucking podcaster, why is the manager not doing this?
Oh, but it's Rob Thompson. He's even killed. He keeps it good the whole way.
No. Like, you need Dallas Green. You need Larry Boa. You need somebody. Charlie Manuel wouldn't put up with this shit. But
oh, he's a nice guy. Topper. Yeah, we love him.
No, he's not. Something needs to change. Something needs to change. And the fact that I'm fired up and it doesn't even seem like anybody on this team is fired up and pissed off about it, that tells me something. Anyway, they're 6-game lead, 7 games coming up against the Braves. Yeah, that's going to go really, really well. Cannot wait for that. Can't wait to be a wild card team yet again and blow all of the good vibes that we had, because nobody wants to step up and be the bad guy.
But they might not like me.
Who cares? I don't care if they like you. We talk about it with Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts all the time. I don't care. Get it together, Phillies. Jesus Christ, it's ridiculous. Absolutely pathetic. I guess the only positive news, but at that point, it might not even matter. Ranger looked halfway decent throwing batting practice yesterday. It looks like he might be back for the Kansas City series. Might be a wild card team by then. But, hey, Rangers coming back. And Rob Thompson's a nice guy, and we got a good clubhouse here.
We're really tight-knit.
It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Be sure to follow me on social media. Jimbo_Mott, Twitter and TikTok. At Philly Jimbo on Instagram. Spread the word. subscribe to the YouTube channel, Jimbo _ I'm just so angry. Jimbo _ Mon on YouTube. It's like this is way worse than what I felt with the Eagles. Like, maybe I was naive thinking that they were going to turn it around, which they never did. I don't feel this team is going to turn it around. Not after that. After you said you cannot wait to get back home, and then you put on that piss poor effort. Ridiculous. Be sure to check out my boys at Clashing Conferences. New episodes drop Friday. They are gearing up for football season as well. That's available wherever you get your podcast, as well as on YouTube. It's back to school season. Go check out Philly Goat. Get your kids back to school hoodies, t-shirts, hats, stickers for their water bottles, all kinds of cool stuff. Don't get Philly stuff, though. Don't buy any Philly stuff. It's ridiculous. The Phillies don't deserve your support right now. Buy Eagles stuff, Sixers stuff, Flyers stuff. Buy Union stuff. Hell, the Union won yesterday. Use the promo code Jim Montgomery for 10% off your order. That's phillygoat.com. Promo code Jim Montgomery for 10% ooff your order. Again, buy Eagles, Sixers, Flyers, and Union stuff because the Phillies don't deserve your support. But the Union, they did win yesterday, 4-2. They're moving on to the semifinals of, I think it's the semifinals. Yeah, this was around the 16th. So the semifinals of the Leagues Cup. They were up 2-0. Cincinnati came back, and then they scored 2 goals late. Good clutch effort by them. They're playing Mexican team Mazatlan. Not sure how the correct pronunciation goes. That'll be Saturday at Subaru Park for a spot in the League Cup Finals. Be sure to check that out. All right, let's do something positive. Hopefully this will turn around. And if you need a pick-me-up on today because of the piss-poor effort by your Philadelphia Phillies, I shouldn't say yours. I won't put that on you. Our Philadelphia Phillies. Go check out the Eagles hype video for this season. Jason Kelce narrated. Pretty cool. Got me a little bit pumped up for the season. They did have their joint practice yesterday. Still no word on if the starters are going to play on Thursday. But typically, Nick Sirianni's MO since he's been here has been after the joint practice, the starters don't play. They put a lot of stock in the joint practice. So that still remains to be seen. But overall, some good things and some bad things came out of that, which is good. I mean, we still have, I think, 24 days before the opening game, so there's still time to work out some of these kinks. But Jalen looks solid again. Didn't throw an interception. Had a couple nice throws. The defensive line had a very, very solid day. Patriots aren't that good. However, it's good to see them. Maybe it'll give them some confidence. They did struggle in the full field 11-on-11 drills. The offensive line just was not good. A couple different people that I follow their accounts where they're not sure if there would have been sacks or not because obviously you can't tackle. James Bradbury got burnt, had a couple bad penalties. I don't necessarily think that is a shocker there. Some good news, though. Cooper DeJean did have his pads on. Looks like he's ready to start practicing and close to returning. So that'll give that secondary a boost, too. Jalen Hurts had an awesome throw to Saquon Barkley. They did, at least now they know what they need to work on. Howie might be actively scouring to see if he can upgrade any positions. But overall, it seemed like it was a positive day for the Eagles. I guess for some of the people that track it and everything like that, it looks like they won it. So that's good. Obviously, the offensive line was a concern. Not sharp, but I have confidence that Jeff Stoutland will get that together. But overall, good day. Still no word on whether the starters will play or not. I still would like to see them play a series or two, maybe even a quarter, just to get some more work in. It's sort of like it's one thing to do a joint practice where there is some hitting, but like a preseason game when you're allowed to hit, I would like to see them get some work. But we'll see what happens. But some positives out of the Eagles joint practice, some things that they obviously need to work on. But overall, we'll take it, especially after that ridiculous, piss-poor, lackluster effort by the Phillies. All right, today, speaking of the Phillies, we're going to go back to 1984. And on this day, they lost 3-2 to the San Diego Padres out in San Diego, fell behind early 2-0, and just couldn't get over the hump. Ozzie Virgil hit a home run, but for the most part, they struggled. Sound familiar? They went 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position, left 7 runners on base. Although I don't even think anybody got on base yesterday. Anyway, enough about yesterday. But the big story was rookie Juan Samuel went 1 for 4 with a stolen base. It was his 56th stolen base of the year, breaking the team record for stolen bases, the modern stolen base record set by Sherry Magee, our old friend Sherry Magee, the same guy that knocked out an umpire. They need a guy like Sherry Magee on this team right now. Somebody that, like, you think Sherry Magee's going to go into that clubhouse and be like, hey, man, we're a tight bunch? No, he's going to knock some shit over, might even punch a teammate or two. That's what they need right now. They need Sherry Magee. But we need a Sherry Magee on this team. Somebody who's got some emotion, some passion, somebody who's willing to just go out there. And I'm sorry I keep ranting on this stinking Phillies team. It got me in a pissed off mood today on a Wednesday. It's Happy Hump Day. I even missed that because of the disgust I have for this team right now. But back to Juan Samuel. That stolen base also put him in position to set the National League rookie record with 71, set by Tim Raines a few years earlier. Samuel would set the rookie National League record for 72 stolen bases in a season. However, it only lasted 1 year when the following year, in 1985, Vince Coleman of the St. Louis Cardinals stole 110 bases, which is still the National League rookie record. I think it's still the Major League rookie record as well. Juan Samuel, to his credit, I know I'm tough on him sometimes, but he did finish second in the Rookie of the Year voting that year behind Dwight Gooden. No harm in losing to Doc. He did lead the league in triples, at-bats, and plate appearances that year. Hit 272, so a solid year from Juan Samuel. You could make the argument that year in 1987 were his two best years. Did make 2 All-Star games with the Phillies, one in 1984. The other was in 1987. However, everybody gets an all-star representative, and that 1987 team wasn't that good. So it's kind of like take that with a grain of salt. He is in the Phillies Wall of Fame. Still not sure he should be in the Wall of Fame. I will stand firm on that mountain. To me, he's the poster child of that dreadful dreck that the Phillies put out there back in the late 80s, early 90s. Him and Von Hayes to me. And then you throw Steve Jeltz. That's like the triumvirate of mediocrity that the Phillies represented back then. But Wall of Fame worthy, I don't know. What are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Like, no. Juan Samuel should not be in the Phillies Wall of Fame. However, he is still the Phillies single-season stolen base leader. That 1984 Phillies team was 81-81, by the way, in case you're keeping score at home. Looked a lot different from the previous year when they were the National League champions. And at this rate, I could see this year's team, going 81-81. I mean, that's just how poorly they're playing right now. But on this day, 1984, Phil's lost to the Padres 3-2 out in San Diego. Juan Samuel with his 56 stolen base, setting the Phillies team record. He would go on to set the National League rookie record and then go into put it in air quotes, Wall of Fame Phillies career. And yeah, I'm hard on Juan Samuel, but to me, he's one of the triumvirate of mediocrity that represented those teams when I was growing up. But that all happened on this day in 1984. All right, we are going to continue our Eagles 20 questions in 20 days. Yesterday, I asked you about how hot was Nick Sirianni's hot seat. Surprisingly, 53% of you said his hot seat is boiling right now. 40% said it was lukewarm. The rest of you said it was cool. Like I said, I think it's lukewarm. I don't think it's boiling right now. However, that could change very easy. My buddy Scott came up with, he posted on Facebook, and he was like, hey, it's lukewarm now, but his skin could boil off in week 6 if things don't go right. And I 100% agree with that. But I think for now, it's lukewarm. A little uncomfortable, but I don't think anything that he would be concerned about. Thank you, as always, for participating in the question of the day. We'll have another one here in a few minutes. Today, the question is, would the real Jalen Hurts please stand up? And I feel this could go either way. And I mean, you have the 2022 year where he was an MVP until he hurt his shoulder, took them to the Super Bowl, balled out in the Super Bowl, one of the best, if not the best, performance from a Super Bowl loser, and truthfully would have probably been a Super Bowl champion if he did not lose that fumble early in the game, or if James Bradbury did not get burnt the way he did. And then last year was a disaster near the end, but over the course of the season, Jalen wasn't that bad. Yeah, it wasn't what we were used to, but numbers-wise, he threw more interceptions. But he still threw for 3,800 yards, 23 touchdowns or whatever. But the entire season obviously seemed off, and we saw the article last week and kind of know why. And I think I'm not so ready to say, and I know some people have been saying this all offseason, that this is a make or break year for Jalen Hurts. But I think this will go a long way in sort of determining what type of quarterback he is. Because truthfully, there were years where Donovan had years like Jalen had last year, and the Eagles still were in good shape. So is he the 2022 Jalen, the 2023? I think truthfully he's somewhere in between. I'd like to think that he's closer to 2022 Jalen, but this year, like I said, we're going to find out. He has all the talent in the world around him. I mean, really no excuses. I do think he's going to have a monster year. My predictions for Jalen, I think he's going to throw for 4,000 yards. He threw for 3,800 last year, and believe it or not, as ridiculous and frustrating as that season was, it was a career high in yards for him. I think he's going to throw for 25 to 30 touchdowns. And again, I think Saquon Barkley is going to help out with that. He's going to be able to take more deep shot. Kellen Moore's offense. We'll get more into Kellen Moore tomorrow, though. I mean, he threw 22 in 2022, threw 23 last year. So I think 25 to 30 is certainly acceptable. I still see him because of just taking some more chances, and really the pressure is going to be on to a certain point. Especially if the defense doesn't play well. I still see him throwing double-digit interceptions, around 10 to 12 interceptions. I think his rushing touchdowns might go down a little bit with Saquon there. Still think it's very fair to think that Jalen's going to get 10 touchdowns, though. I really feel he's going to be one of the more elite quarterbacks in the league this year. But now it's your turn. What do you think? What do you think? Is he closer to 2022, closer to 2023? And I feel like that's a loaded question only because he wasn't that far off number-wise. So the better question then for you, today's question of the day, is Jalen Hurts a top 10 quarterback in the NFL? There's a lot of good quarterbacks in the NFL, and then there's also a lot of bad ones. But is Jalen a top 10 quarterback? I think he is. I put him right in between 6 and 8. Somewhere in there, just off the top of my head without going through the list. But I certainly think he's in there. And consistently he's putting up the numbers. Even though last year was an off year, I mean, looking at his numbers, I really do think he's there. But what do you think? Is he a top 10 quarterback? 267-495-8531. That'll get you in on the Back to the Future voice and text line. Get that, anything else Philly sports related off your chest. Go ahead and go on a rant about the Phillies as well. Trust me, it's therapeutic. It will make you feel better. We've been talking about the men's issues the previous couple Tuesdays, and trust me, sports would have been number 5 if I extended it out. But vent, it's going to feel better. Yell and scream. But question of the day, is Jalen a top 10 quarterback? I think he will be this year. I think he's 4,000 yards, 25 touchdowns, 8 to 10 rushing touchdowns. I think he's going to have a comeback year this year, and we're going to hopefully put to bed any of the lingering questions we still have about Jalen Hurts. But let me know your thoughts. Is he a top 10 quarterback? 267-495-8531 will get you in. We will continue our 20 questions in 20 days about the Eagles tomorrow as they get set to take on the Patriots in their second preseason game. On this day in 1984, Juan Samuel set the Phillies stolen base record with 56. He would go on to have 72 for that year, which is still the Phillies record. He set the National League rookie record which was later broken by Vince Coleman the next year with 110 in that 3-2 loss to the Padres out in San Diego. We'll have more, again, coverage on the Eagles as they get ready to go take battle against the Patriots in the preseason. I don't know what to expect tonight. I mean, maybe they come out and score 15 runs tonight. I don't know, but something needs to be done with the Phillies. What that is, I don't know, but I need some emotion. I need some passion. Screw all this, we're nice guys and we have a good tight-knit clubhouse, because that's not getting it done. It's absolutely not getting it done. They need somebody to go in there and basically be a dick and just call people out. And if feelings are hurt, feelings are hurt. I'm more old school with that. Like, not this millennial whatever BS and I apologize to millennials and didn't mean to do that, but that's sort of the snowflake culture, I should say. Maybe I shouldn't put it into a generation, but this, we got to treat everybody happy. No, I'm old school. Hurt some feelings. Feelings need to be hurt, because my feelings are hurt because of your piss poor effort. So your feelings need to be hurt too. It's a very Gen X thing to say, but I don't care. Feelings need to be hurt. Forget this kumbaya bullshit. This team is not hitting on at all, really, but they're not firing on all cylinders right now. So feelings need to be hurt. You need to know you're not doing a good job. No, like, there are times where, we'll reward effort, this, that, and the other. Like, I'm shouting out Johan Rojas for putting in effort, but no, you're not doing your job, and it's impacting the team's performance. So you know what? Take a good, hard look in the mirror. Ask yourself, what are you doing to get better? What are you doing to contribute to this? And have that hard look. And yes, feelings need to be hurt. Ugh. Anyway, go have yourself some Wednesday. Happy hump day. This has been This Day in Philly Sports History for August 14th, 2023. I'm Jim Montgomery, probably never going mainstream after my rant at the beginning of the show, and I apologize for the language, but that's how I'm feeling, and I always want to be honest and truthful and give you the facts and everything. That's how I'm feeling. Damn it. And if I don't go mainstream, then I don't go mainstream. Just buy some shirts from Philly Goat, and that'll help me out. But go have yourself some Wednesday. And until next time, I'll see you when I see you.